coming right back with Brian Dean Wright, host of The Wright Report, former CIA operations officer, talking about the fact that it's very, very difficult for Republicans to have conversations like this, Brian, especially on conservative media outlets, because for whatever reason, some of these conservative hosts on these outlets would rather label what we're talking about as a conspiracy theory, despite the fact that, as you mentioned, all of the data points to and supports your thesis, which is, yeah, I think the Democrats would like for Donald Trump to die. I think that they'd be fine with it. I know it sounds extreme and horrible and crazy that we live in a world like this, but it's what I believe. So listen to Stu Varney talking to Jonathan Gillum. I don't know Jonathan Gillum, but he's like a Navy SEAL executive protection guy. But check out this clip, and then I want to get your reaction.
Reports that Trump himself plans to keep campaigning as scheduled, despite the assassination attempts. Today, he's going to be in Flint, Michigan, before traveling tomorrow to New York, actually. Should Trump change the way he campaigns?
Well, so far, the way he campaigns has not been the problem, Stuart. It's been the Secret Service. It's been how they actually do their work. I mean, we saw in Pennsylvania where they did not do a proper threat assessment. They did not extend the perimeter past one of the few buildings that was there and secure that area. That doesn't cost them anything to do that. They just didn't do it. And they created a fatal funnel because of that. Okay, so we could look at that one and say, potentially that was just incompetence. But now we have the same exact thing occur again. And these attackers will take advantage of that. So I have to sit back and ask, is this a nefarious thing that's going on within the side of the Secret Service, that they're just leaving these areas open? Because if that's the case, then I think Trump needs to take a serious step back and hire individuals like myself and other people that I can bring in to simply do perimeter checks, and then he can campaign as normal. But right now, I'd be sweating bullets every time I went out there, because I'm going to say this on air. I said it earlier on the radio. The Democrat Party, regardless of the rhetoric that they want Trump dead.
I don't know. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm sorry, Jonathan. I don't think you can say that legitimately.
I think we can say it legitimately, but I think we can say that legitimately based on the verbiage that they use, and then they cover up. To say that they want him eliminated, to say that they want him gone. These are words that push people forward, and then you have directors of agencies like this that come on and they do not do the job, the simple job of perimeter security over and over and over again.
Jonathan, I'm sorry, I'm going to end it right there. I'm not going to take any conspiracy theories on this show. Jonathan,
that's not a conspiracy.
Listen, Brian, there's something happening right now in this country that makes that's. I think we live in a very dangerous time. I talked a little bit about this week how part of that danger is that these assassination attempts are becoming part of our collective unconscious, you would say, or even part of the body politic. The media is just kind of like papering over it as if it's somehow normal, or blaming these assassination attempts on Trump and all the stuff that you just talked about. And my point is this: how the hell do you defeat the threat if you can't even talk about it openly? I mean, what's your take on that?
Look, again, I go back to my time abroad. Societies that are starting to collapse, at first, most good people don't want to believe it's happening. They want to believe it's just another blip or it's just another problem. And so there is a mental block from imagining the horrible. And then when you do realize the horrible is actually happening, it's too late. It's too late to stop.
Wow.
So that is what I have seen abroad. That is how nations collapse, is you start to have these tribal politics. There's a group of people who just can't believe it's true. And then, of course, the nation eventually collapses. So that is, I mean, there's some brilliant examples of that, very sad examples of that all around the world. Look through history. It's there. So guys like Stu, maybe his heart is in the right place, but maybe he's still caught in that era of growing up where Democrats and Republicans can disagree. They're all reasonable people. They all want the country to be successful. But we're living in an America where 9 million people just came across the southern border, largely unvetted.
Yes.
And that's certainly from a security perspective, but that's also from a cultural perspective. So we're not vetting these people about that. Hey, what do you believe about women? hey, do you think that we should push gay people off of buildings? Like, what do you think about, you engage in voodoo? Oh, well, that's interesting. That's animal sacrifice. Do you do that? We're not even asking any of those questions, let alone the fact that we're not vetting them properly from a security perspective.
Mike Lindell here, and like you, I see our country being destroyed daily. We face massive economic issues, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are people in power who threaten the values that have made our country great. Well, I've been a believer in gold and silver for a long time, and I've searched for years for a partner that shares my values. Well, Genesis Gold Group showed me how easy it is to protect your IRA, 401k, or your retirement with gold and silver. Their faith-driven approach to service and stewardship is one that stands out from the rest.
To get your free definitive gold guide and get started learning more about investing in gold and protecting your retirement from uncertain times, visit treasureandtrust.com now. Fill out the basic contact form and a member of the team will be in touch. Again, that's treasureandtrust.com or call 855-625-7760.